All right, we're just going to do a test recording real quick. If you want to just talk, tell a story, tell a joke, whatever you want to do, and I'll check the levels here.
When I was a young child, I woke up early in the morning before everybody else in the house, and I went outside naked in the snow and knocked up at my old lady neighbor's house to see if I could go to take a poop over there.
Wow.
True story.
Is this a true story? Is this like last week or what?
Yeah. I got bored.
How old were you?
3.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm. It was like a foot of snow outside.
That's dedication.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
So I needed somebody to go to the bathroom with me.
To be fair, I still do, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Hey, everyone. Welcome back. I'm your host, Dan Bradley, and I'm so glad you're here. This is the space where we trade in the noise of everyday life for stories that remind us that there's still a melody worth listening to. Stories of resilience, hope, and finding your own rhythm in the chaos. Every week, we sit down with someone who's braved the hard stuff and came out carrying a brighter tune. So let's jump in. Let's turn it up. Let's get into it. This is Braving the Bright Side. Well. 10 episodes. Episode number 10. It's kind of crazy. It's a little wild. I know, 10 doesn't seem like it's very high. Well, it's not too high, but for a guy who's just sitting in a room right now, talking into a microphone by himself, it's kind of a big deal. It's kind of cool. And I really thank you guys for still listening. Or if you're tuning in for the first time, thanks for checking it out. Didn't really know what was going to happen when I started this, but listen, 10 episodes, I can be proud of that. And hopefully I'll do 10 more, then 10 more, then 10 more, then 10 more. And then maybe 10 more after that. And hopefully as I go, I get better at this. But once again, to everybody that's been on the show, everyone that's going to be on the show, and anybody that's listened, I really can't thank you enough. It's pretty cool. How you all doing out there in this crazy, weird world? You doing all right? I hope so. Because like I said, it's a crazy, weird world. I'm doing all right. I'm doing good. Things are going pretty good. Busy. My brain is constantly going. I definitely need to figure out a way to slow my brain down sometimes, especially when going to sleep. So I'll take any suggestions there. But life is good. Life is full. It's just moving ever so quickly at times. My animals are doing really good. In case you're wondering, I felt like you wanted to ask me that, but you can't because I can't hear you from where you are. So I'll just answer it for you. The animals are great. Vigo is somewhat potty trained. John Ralphio is still eating the spider plants. I think that's what they're called. And then vomiting the plants right back up. And I found myself yelling at him the other day. I said, why would you do this? Why are you eating something that you know is going to make you sick, but you keep going back to it? Why do you? And I literally stopped and I was like, oh, wait. I literally used to do the same thing with whiskey and cigarettes. So I kind of get it, John Ralphio. I kind of get it. I feel it. But that being said, I can't have him keep throwing up around the house here. So I will have to move those plants. But, symbolism and all that fun stuff. Yeah, so I hope you all are doing good. Hope life is, lifing a little easier for you these days. I feel like it's not as overbearing out there as it has been a little bit. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not paying that much attention for a reason. I had to take some breathers here and there. But that being said, I have dug up a news story for you, a feel-good news story for you, if you will. So every week I find I don't know, an uplifting story, a good news story, a happy news story. I'm going to stop giving you examples. That's ridiculous. Anyway, I found a good story for you guys to hopefully make you feel a little bit better about the world. Maybe store a touch of faith back out there in humanity and the universe itself. So this one comes from the Good News Network. Once again, I'll link the website in the description of the podcast. And boy, howdy, this one's a fun one. 9-year-old boy saves parents when tornado sends car flying into trees. This is a podcast, so it breaks my heart that I can't show you. But man, I really wish I could show you a picture of this 9-year-old boy, because the mullet that this kid is rocking is, I would argue that it's the finest mullet I've ever seen in my entire life. And judging from the glimmer in his eyes and his smile, he's either really proud about saving his parents, or he's even just more proud about this phenomenal mullet. Again, I am going to link this article in the description of the podcast. So if you really want to see this mullet in all of its glory, please click on it and then let me know what you think. All right, here we go. Rodgers and Hammerstein wrote oh so famously that at the end of the storm, there's a golden sky. At their home on the range, an Oklahoma couple are beginning to see that golden sky beyond a stormy nightmare that forced their 9-year-old son to try and save their lives after a tornado overtook their car and left them with terrible, terrible injuries. It was back in April when tornadoes were reported to be en route to the hometown of Wayne and Lindy Baker, and it was on their evacuation path to a shelter in Dixon, Oklahoma, that disaster struck. Seeing the tornado a mile or so off, it suddenly changed direction and overtook the Bakers as they drove down the road in their Ford pickup. It sent the truck smashing to the ground before a tree fell on top of it, pinning the front seats under its weight. Inside, Wayne and Lindy suffered broken necks, backs, ribs, and arms. But in the rear seats, 9-year-old Branson was unharmed. He got out of the truck and ran a mile down the road in pitch darkness due to a power outage from the winds until he found a house with people inside who could help. CBS News got a hold of the story via Wayne's brother, Johnny, who was on the phone with Wayne at the moment the tornado hit them. I heard a ding, 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 like hail or rocks hitting the windshield, and then the large crash and the phone went dead, he told the Owlhead. Johnny and his partner rushed to the scene, but with so much debris and live power lines down along the roads, it made for a slow going. The truck was so mangled by the incident that it wasn't clear to Johnny if it belonged to Wayne until he heard screaming from inside. Shortly after, Branson, who had run a 10-minute mile, mind you, I think that's better than I can run, returned with a neighbor, and together they did what they could to help Wayne and Lindy before 911 arrived to transport the parents to OU Medical Center. The last thing Branson told them was, "Mom, Dad, please don't die. I will be back," Johnny recalled. He had to become his parents' Superman. That's exactly what he said. He said, "I have to save my parents." Wayne and Lindy are contractors, and the injuries left them unsure as to their future ability to earn a living. A friend of the family set up a GoFundMe to help pay for their medical bills and replace the work truck, which, as of publishing, has raised an inspiring $100,000. In May, Branson and Wayne spoke to Good Morning America about their ordeal. The boy admitted he was very scared, and both were clearly still enduring the trauma of the event. I'd imagine. That's insane. "I couldn't be more proud to be a father," Wayne said, conducting an interview in a neck brace. "A son that can accept the challenge in that way shows that he would go above and beyond for anyone." In a July update on the GoFundMe, the organizer revealed that Wayne has made a substantial recovery and was able to return to work, while Lindy has removed her back brace, but requires a second surgery on her right hand. As parents, we sometimes fear our children will grow up too quickly. Forced into traumatic circumstances, there's no doubt that Branson has done a lot of growing this year, of a kind that Wayne and Lindy can hopefully be proud of. Yeah, that's it. That's the article. Just kind of a feel good story there. I mean, there's a lot to take in there, right? There's a 10-minute mile that this 9-year-old kid ran. There's the description of hail and sleet hitting a windshield. Ding, ding, ding. That was right. Him saying, "Mom, Dad, please don't die. I am coming back for you." I mean, that's just a badass line that kid should repeat. And then there's just this mullet. I hate to just keep focusing on it. Actually, I don't hate to keep focusing on it. I know beautiful art when I see it, and this mullet is gorgeous. It's glorious. Also, just a quick side note. You just know a little later on in life, his parents are going to try to make him clean his room or just generally make him do something that he doesn't want to do. And he's going to turn around and be like, "I literally saved your lives. All right? I ran a 10-minute mile at 9 years old to save your lives. I don't want to clean my room." Just saying. It's going to happen. I mean, I know I would. I don't know what that says about me, but man, 10-minute mile. All right. Anyway. So once again, I'm going to link the article in the description of the podcast. Click on it if you want. Check it out. This comes from the Good News Network. They have a lot of good stuff in there. If you want to pick me up, if you just want to read something that's just going to kind of make your heart a little bit lighter, make your soul a little brighter, check it out. Good News Network. It's phenomenal. Cool. All right, let's get into it. Today's guest is someone whose journey has as much grit as it does groove. Curtis Jr. grew up chasing tornadoes and collecting snakes. Was always a little different, always searching for where he fit in. But the truth is, he found his place in music. It wasn't just a passion, it was a lifeline. Even when the noise of the world and his own struggles with drinking tried to drown him out, music kept him grounded. And eventually, it led him back to that kid he once was. The kid who didn't apologize for what he loved. The kid who just needed to be welcomed home. And that's the story we get to hear today. I'm beyond excited for you. Here's my conversation with Tommy Curtis Jr. All right, my next guest is a singer-songwriter, someone out there who's looking for the truth, who's also looking out for other people as well. He's starting to dedicate his life into helping people open up and have confidence in themselves, have confidence in their decisions in life, and just overall make a better life for themselves. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tommy Curtis Jr.
How are you, Dan?
Hey, Tommy. How you doing? I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for coming by. How's life? How's life looking these days?
Life is busy. Yeah, there's plenty of curveballs still in the air, but powering through them and accomplishing more than ever.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Our paths used to cross at random open mics that you would host.
Yes.
And I would attempt to do stand-up comedy, even though I was probably half in the bag more times than not.
You were great.
I could never watch those performances. I would try to watch them back afterwards. I'm like, I would just cringe and vomit, because I was so hammered. But people laughed, so
yeah,
I guess
you were. I have to say, you were probably one of the most professional comedians I would have at those open mics.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, some were very much a gamble.
Yeah. Well, I take pride in that. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely.
It's the biggest compliment I've ever gotten in my very short-lived comedian career, for sure.
That's why I had you feature. Come on.
Yeah, that's true.
I knew you could bring the heat.
So Tommy and I have known each other. We've kind of swung by each other at times for the past, 15 years or so, I guess.
Probably.
You know what I mean? Which is kind of crazy to say.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we just jump right into it? If you could sum up your life right now in one word, what word would that be?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't know. Bittersweet's sitting in my head, but I see a happier ending, so it's not as bittersweet. Unique.
That's a unique answer.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever gotten that one before. That's great.
Yeah.
I love that. Unique.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's not like everybody else's.
Yeah. Yeah. And from catching up with you not last week, I can attest to that. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I had plenty of stories.
Which is kind of the brilliance of human life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody's got. I've said this before, but I think everybody should be able to write their own memoir
Yeah,
before they
absolutely.
die.
Absolutely.
So let's get into your story, shall we?
Let's do it.
Yeah, just go into your childhood, you growing up. What your
Let's
early
see.
shapings, if you will.
Yeah, it started with dinosaurs, as it does for many. Yeah, I went in grade school, and at 8 years old, I became obsessed with tornadoes.
Tornadoes. How did you become obsessed with tornadoes?
If I can remember correctly, I would probably base it off of the movie Twister.
Okay, that was gonna be my guess.
Yeah.
Because I've never heard anybody, unless they're literally older and chasing storms. I never heard of kids becoming obsessed with tornadoes. So that's amazing.
Yeah, I think I was always obsessed with something that humans couldn't control.
Yeah.
It was bigger than us. But yeah, I would actually, I had one of those crappy little cameras that you could plug it into your VCR, and you could record on an empty tape inside the VCR. And I would do my own weather reports. Anytime a cloud went by the house, I was watching it because I assumed that a tornado was going to come out of it. At least I hoped one was.
Yeah.
In the schoolyard at school, I would act like I got caught in a tornado. I would just start running and spinning at the same time, and act like I had to hide under something while the tornado passed.
Just you're by yourself? Did you have anybody else that would
occasionally somebody else would jump in.
Yeah.
Most of the time they were just sitting there kind of laughing, like, what the hell is he doing? Yeah. And then it turned to snakes. I was obsessed with snakes.
Oh, all right.
I think that came about. That was probably because the movie Anaconda. I guess I was very inspired by movies.
John Voight, Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah.
Owen Wilson.
Yeah.
Great movie.
I actually forgot that. And Ice Cube.
Ice Cube, that's right.
Ice Cube.
He survives.
He did.
Yeah.
He's the hero.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had some unique interests when I was younger, for sure. I would get made fun of for it, because it wasn't the popular trend at the time.
Yeah.
So that kind of blocked out any self-confidence, because anything I was drawn towards, I would get made fun of for it. So that layered for many, many years.
Yeah, I'm sure you're like, well, anything I like,
Yeah.
nobody else likes and just makes fun of me for it. So
Yep. Then I would try sports. I was never good at sports because I was sitting there overthinking everything I did. Stemming back to my other interest, there was always somebody better than me. Then I went skateboarding, probably around 5th grade, maybe. And that was my next obsession. I would film all the time. I would try to get sponsored, blah, blah, blah. But I wasn't that great because I would overthink everything.
You seem like you'd be really good at skateboarding. You saying you used to skateboard makes sense to me. Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. Can't do that anymore. I mean, I probably could jump on a skateboard, but it wouldn't be as pretty as it could be.
Yeah.
I'd probably fall and hurt myself.
I would absolutely destroy my body within 0.3 seconds of stepping on a skateboard.
Yeah, I mean, my body's still feeling the effects of skateboarding every day. My joints.
Yeah.
I don't appreciate it. But yeah, that was that. And then eventually music came about. That was summer going into freshman year of high school. Yeah, so fast forward, and I consider myself, I don't know if I was a loser or a nerd, I guess more on the nerdier side in grade school. So I didn't fit in necessarily with the popular people. Occasionally I would, and then occasionally they'd make fun of me in front of the crowd. So
yeah.
When high school came about, I was like, you know what, I'm going to switch it up. This is a fresh start, new opportunity, new friends, new people. I'm going to try to really jump into who I am and figure out who that is.
Right.
And that didn't go as planned either. Yeah, I had an itch inside of me to want to be accepted because I wasn't accepted. So I would tried to please all the popular people over and over again.
Right.
And I could fit in with the nerdy people with no problem. But
you knew you were a nerd if you hung out with them.
Yeah.
So you tried to do.
So yeah, I was just kind of like imploding inside. And yeah, I remember I wanted to play football for O'Hara. And so I was like, all right, my one best friend, Alex, he was adopted from Russia when he was 5.
Wow.
We went to grade school together for a little bit. He was very nerdy. He's brilliant. He's like a scientist now and everything, and just physics and big brain.
Yeah.
So we both decided, all right, we want to play football. Let's do a season of lacrosse together. Never played lacrosse before.
I have never participated in lacrosse.
Yeah.
It scares me. I
figured it out. But right away, it was like I had the slight widow's peak. So I would buzz my head, but right in the front.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole team called me Eddie Munster.
I was literally just going to say that. Yeah.
Yep. And they held on to that the whole way through. And eventually I got to the point where that was probably my darkest time. That's when I felt probably the most alone. I was questioning life.
When the whole team was against you at that point.
Yeah. It was just like I saw no avenues to take to feel better about myself.
Wow. How old were you at this point?
I forget the age. It was sophomore year of high school.
Okay.
So whatever age bracket that is.
I mean, that high school already is brutal, no matter what.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To be, shit on like that.
Yeah.
From their teammates is brutal.
Yeah. So they would take any opportunity they would get to try to ruffle my feathers, if you will. Yeah. So that was a dark time, and I was questioning life. I was questioning everything. I was just like, this sucks.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm here. And I really started going inwards then, just being with myself. But then I also started writing music.
Okay. So
music saved me.
Yeah.
1000%. I can't guarantee that I would still be here if I didn't have my music. Because I was able to write my emotions and put them on the paper and work them out and try to understand them better.
Mm-hmm.
Because also at the same time, I wanted to write something cool.
Yeah.
But something that made sense. So that helped me organize my thoughts, my ideas, my emotions. And
so are you writing music at this point, or are you just writing just to write and get it out of your system?
I was writing music because I started, the first band was Dropping Sense. That's what we called ourselves.
Dropping Sense.
Yes.
Right. CENTS or?
I was waiting for that question. So, and it's hilarious because I think the first show we did was a Hurricane Katrina relief concert.
Wow. That was your first show?
No, that was the second show.
The first show debut.
First show we did was a Battle of the Bands.
Okay.
We didn't win. I think we got like second place. But the second one we did was the big one. That was the Hurricane Katrina relief show at Springfield High School. There was a comedian hosting, and she got gag gifts for every band based off their names. And I'm trying to, we spelled it. We changed the spelling multiple times. I think the first time it was SENTS.
Ah.
We wanted it to be cool and different.
Yeah.
Spell it weird.
Didn't see that one coming.
No, so real quick. So the reason we came up with that name is because our guitar player, Andrew Pulaski at the time, he would play, he was a killer lead guitar player, but he would play with a quarter instead of a pick.
Really? Okay.
And he kept dropping it. So that was our clever name that we came up with, Dropping Sense.
Yeah.
Fast forward to that show, the comedian's introducing us, and her gag gift for us was a fart detector.
Okay.
Because she didn't know what sense we were dropping.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah, so that was always a funny memory. There's actually an old video of that too, I think on YouTube somewhere.
Oh shit.
And you can see I'm all awkward. I've got my buzzed haircut, my Eddie Munster haircut.
I'm definitely
and,
gonna try to dig that up and
yeah,
put it in the description of the podcast.
I'm wearing sunglasses on and like just standing real still and shaky voice. And
Yeah,
but the crowd loved it, so that was good.
that's cool.
But fast forward is so like high school just sucked
Yeah.
in general. But then the end of or the beginning of senior year, a friend of mine, and many others that I was friends with, he got shot, killed first, or right, it was I think the day before, or a couple days before the first day of senior year. So me and my other buddy, we filmed a video of us doing "Wish You Were Here" by Pink Floyd,
Mm.
and that we did it in honor of him. That was back when we weren't chasing views and numbers and all that stuff. We just put it out there for him, and it exploded. And then everybody in the school wanted to be my friend because they learned that I could perform music.
Yeah.
And I hadn't really put it out in front of anybody at the high school the whole time. And so
suddenly you're perceived as a semi rock star at this point.
Yeah.
Wow.
But also at the same time, I'm like, all right, you guys were bashing me or pushing against me the whole entire time. And all of a sudden I can do something you can't, and you want to be my friend.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, this is how the world works. I get it now.
Yeah.
And so that also like gave me a sense of security, being like, all right, I'm starting to figure out who I am, but I'm also figuring out who everybody else is.
Right.
I'm not blinded. I'm not gullible. I'm not giving into that. I'm not feeding off my emotions as much.
It's the first like major lesson you're learning in terms of humanity.
Yeah. Yeah.
What they're capable of.
Yeah. But at the same time, I consider myself a chameleon because of high school, because I was, like I mentioned, I got along with every different clique and every different group because I wanted to understand them, and I wanted to understand how they operated, why they operated that way, why they considered this cool, why they didn't consider this cool. Like, I was really I did that to try to understand myself better. But yeah, it was a wild wake up call, to say the least.
I'm sure.
But yeah, there was, I want to say my biggest impactful moment, and this is actually right before I started music. It was like 8th grade. This kind of ties back to when I was questioning life. I had a friend, Nicole Basella. She committed suicide in 8th grade.
Wow.
Kind of peer pressured into it by a boyfriend.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was insane. Like 8th grade was like a crazy character building year for me because she passed. My best friend's mom passed. My other friend's dad passed. My other aunt passed. And
this is all in the same year.
Yeah, and then my uncle passed. He was the youngest of 6 siblings. My mom, youngest brother, and he was kind of like a brother to us. He fought brain cancer for 13 years. And he was like an angel on earth. I mean, he wasn't perfect, but he was just amazing to me and my sisters, and he was always over our house. I'd hang out with him and my mom in the kitchen on Friday nights. They would sit there and drink and listen to music and dance and stuff and just hang out. My mom was also a nurse, so he was also over there. Yeah. Talking to her about everything, like, how do we go about this? So that was like, there was a lot of big, impactful things that happened in that 4 or 5 year span.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it was a wild trip.
And this is all in 8th through into high school, huh?
Yeah.
Through high school.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like that's a lot of loss too in 1 year.
Yeah, it was, yeah. And my dad, he lost his job at the time too. So it was like, there was a lot of transitions going on, and, yeah, it was very, I don't even know what to call it.
So how did you find music? How did you find music that helped your soul and kind of helped give you light? You know what I mean? I know your father still plays to this day at like different bars and stuff. I've seen him play. You know, has music been in your family since you were a kid, or like, you know, was it just you've always liked music, but you really leaned into it when things got dark? Or
yeah, so it was always around.
Yeah.
We're not like the family that walks around the house singing or anything like that. But just watching, like my dad would always play the Irish stuff and
Yeah.
the different cover gigs over the years. And every Christmas we pull guitars out and we sing Christmas songs with the family and all that stuff. So
That's pretty cool.
yeah, it was awesome. I didn't have an appreciation for it in the beginning.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if I was gonna try music or not. My dad actually he never pushed it on me. He got me a guitar when I was like young, and I think some other kid broke it or something. I borrowed it or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but my sister, she started learning guitar, so I was just kind of watching from a distance. But I eventually, yeah, summer going into freshman year, I guess after like when all that stuff was coming down, I was like, all right, I'm gonna learning guitar. It was like I need something to do.
Yeah.
And I started teaching myself. My dad showed me where to put my fingers for a few chords or whatever, and he taught himself. So I was like, I want to teach myself.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Um,
I tried learning how to play guitar. I don't have the fingers for it, or the patience, or
that's
the talent.
That's the key, the patience.
Or
yeah, because there's so many times I wanted to give up music.
Yeah.
Especially when I was learning, because some things are harder or take more practice than other things.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's funny because I didn't dive into music much either in grade school. Like
Okay.
that was a thing that came later.
What was the first song that you learned how to play, like from beginning to end?
I think it was "Wish You Were Here."
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know why I remember learning Shaggy.
Like, saw me on the kitchen counter. Was it me, Shaggy? Or
It's like that or "Shorty, You're My Angel." Like one of those songs. Because it was like 4 chords. It was easy and it was popular
Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
It was huge at the time.
Yeah. So I think that was in there. And Wonderwall. I think that was in
Of course.
there. Yeah. Oasis was my first favorite band. But yeah, I feel like I was listening to, I feel like I got really into the alt 90s scene when I started listening to music. And then I got into a rap phase. And I went with the 50 Cent record when that came out. That was another questionable phase because I wear super baggy basketball clothes and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I had my Walkman and listened to and rap the 50 Cent lyrics. That didn't last very long.
Also, you just saying, I got the 50 Cent album. That's my highlight of this interview so far.
Yeah, it was great. I can still rap it a little bit too, the Eminem part.
Yeah.
But I'll save that for a show. But yeah, so I definitely think the alt 90s thing, that like there was a lot of emotion in that stuff, so that helped me embrace my emotions or at least tame them for the time being.
Mm-hmm.
So I started writing like that because I once I got comfortable with the guitar, I joined the youth teen program at St. Francis.
Okay.
And they had a band. So I jumped in that. It was like a 20-piece band. It was
Wow.
like Arcade Fire in the church. So I would just play that. And that's where I met my first drummer and first guitarist. And we formed our own band. We started playing like every Sunday at our drummer's house, at Pat Richards' house. And we were like, who's going to sing? And I was like, I guess I'll try. It was awful in the beginning. I have like stress, awful. I would drop out of tune every single line that I sang. But the worst part was that nobody told me I was doing that for like a year.
They just let you go and be awful?
Yeah. Eventually my sister Joan, she told me, she's like, Gabe, you're falling out of tune every time you finish the line. I'm like, I couldn't tell this. Like I actually I wasn't aware that I was doing it. I just thought I was just singing some style or whatever. It was not style. But yeah, so then I started working on that. I broke out of that a little bit. But yeah, I would say the alt 90s, that and then my dad playing and stuff that inspired me for sure.
Yeah.
But it was flowing well compared to the other things. I mean, I'm sure I could have fell into meteorology a lot earlier if I didn't have everybody calling me Twister Tommy or whatever, Tommy Tornado, whatever the hell it was.
All right. So you find music and now you're into it and now, you graduate high school?
I did.
What does that look like? You getting out of high school? Did you go right into college? Did you?
Yeah, I did.
At this point, do you feel like things are a little bit lighter for you? They're not so dark and heavy, or are you still kind of
I'm starting to get glimmers of hope.
okay?
And that goes right back on the music, because it's like, all right, even though I know everybody's like, oh my gosh, you can do something, I can't. So I'm gonna consider you cooler than I did before.
Right.
I felt more comfortable in my own skin. I was writing a lot more. So I didn't want to go to college, because I was just like, my brain and my soul are just firing for music, and there's nothing that specifies exactly what I want to do.
Yeah.
But society is telling me to go do this,
especially that time,
like everybody else.
Yeah, that time once you graduate, you go to college.
It's what you got to do.
Or you're a failure.
Failure, black sheep, frowned upon.
Yeah.
So I did it. I went to Newman. And that was cool. I had some friends from high school, some genuine friends that I gathered. Made some new friends. We would hang out in parking lots often. And I randomly had a group of friends that drove really fast cars.
Nice.
So I got into cars for a minute.
Yeah.
Then I dropped out my second year.
Okay.
Because I was just like, all right, I'm just accumulating debt at this point.
Were you still going to class and all that stuff, or you weren't? You just weren't into it, or
I was. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I wasn't the best classes the classes I did best at were, let's see, philosophy, theology, because I was actually super religious for a long time. Wanted to be a priest in high school. We'll just throw that in there.
Yeah. Just slip that in there.
Yeah, considered it. I would run retreats and stuff. Obviously, I met the band in a youth teen program. So that helped me also get through all the dark times.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then radio. I went for communications, because I was like, all right, that's probably the closest thing I can get to music. And then I randomly took a radio class, and I got an A in that, which was all right, cool. Yeah, then I was like, this isn't for me. Occasionally I was skipping classes to go to the World Cafe open mic.
Yeah.
On Monday nights, but there's a super long line outside.
I used to live right by there.
Okay.
In Philly, yeah.
Yeah, so you know.
Yeah.
Monday nights. And the line was extremely long, and you had to get there like 2 hours before to get a spot. Hope to get a spot. So I would be like, yeah, I'm just not going to go to this class, and I'm going to go down there and I'm going to get a spot. But it was funny because, yeah, I was just like, all right, I'm just building debt for myself and my father, really, who's helping me get through college. And there's just nothing that's going to help my career here. Even though I didn't look at it necessarily as a career, I just knew like my soul was bursting for music. At every single second of the day, I was awake. So fast forward, I end up dropping out. I'm like, I just got to do this. The first year I got out, I got on the radio, and I was playing more open mics and really starting to dive into it. I had to get the regular jobs, of course. Trying to think, I think I went to, I worked every different type of job. I was a trash man. My first job was in the church. Why can't I think of the name? Oh, sacristan.
Sacristan was the name of the church?
That was the name of my job. You don't know what a sacristan is?
Yeah, I don't
Come on. So
sounds like you're in charge of sacrifices. What is that? What is a sac? What is that?
Yeah. Come to the back room. Yeah, so I was in charge of setting up the entire church for every mass.
Oh, okay.
I'd unlock the doors, open the lights, or turn on the lights. I had to light the candles, set up the books for the readings, all that stuff. And then once that mass ended, I had to break it all down. Then I had to set it all back up because, of course, there's 4 masses on a Sunday.
Yeah, lots of covers on a Sunday.
Yeah,
but it's a turnover.
It also kind of turns you into like a pyromaniac a little bit
because of the candles.
candles, and
Yeah.
you're sitting back there with boxes of matches, and you're just sitting back there for an hour waiting for the mass to finish. I didn't drink the wine, surprisingly,
Yeah.
because I just thought I'd be hit with a lightning bolt if I did. That Catholic guilt.
Yeah.
Um,
She's strong. That
yeah,
Catholic guilt.
yeah,
She's
just
strong.
sits there and beats on your brain. Yeah, did that. I was a trash man. I worked in a pet shop. I was a cook. I worked at a Land Rover Jaguar dealership.
Wow.
I opened a furniture store. I was a tow truck driver. It was all over the place. But
Yeah.
anyway, I ended up in Starbucks.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was funny because that was like my first like serious quote unquote job.
That was the job that you're like, all right, I'm going to
Yeah.
dig in here and
Yeah.
move up.
That's when I was also introducing myself to the bar scene.
Ah, yeah.
Good old Jocelyn's. Jocelyn's karaoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would go and work my ass off at Starbucks and as I'm drinking Dunkin'.
I won't tell anybody.
Well,
I guess you just told
you
me.
can tell I'm scarred
Yeah.
working at Starbucks. Yeah, I'd work my ass off and make my money, and then I would just go spend it at the bar.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was sitting there, I tell myself, all right, well, I'm going out, I'm networking, I'm doing karaoke, I'm singing in front of people.
Back in the day, the karaoke scene, especially at Jocelyn's,
It
Jocelyn's was this absolute dive bar in media. It's technically still there. What's it called now? It's like
Off the rail.
off the rail. So they just put new paint on it. And that was pretty much it. But yeah, I mean, back in the day, it was like mid 2000s, early 2000s, or I guess like
Yeah.
2010s.
Yeah.
The karaoke scene that's media was obsessed with karaoke, right?
Mhm.
I mean, it was everywhere. So networking in a way, it made sense.
Yeah. Yeah. It was kind of an excuse in a sense.
Oh, for sure.
But I mean, I ended up running the karaoke for 2.5 years up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, Starbucks was the job out of dropping out of college, and but then it was also the last job in a sense because I quit Starbucks to go full time with music
Okay.
in 2012, I want to say.
So when you say you go full time with music, what does that entail?
Just cover gigs on the weekends, and yeah, just basically playing any show I could to make money.
Yeah.
Just mainly on the weekends, but obviously not for the original stuff. Yeah, so that's where I started stepping into the cover scene more. My end game's always been just original music, but it was kind of like, all right, well, the only way I can do this, I need to learn the covers. I need to go play the bar gigs, do that whole thing, the dance. And yeah, so I mean, that was cool. Of course, I was drinking my face off.
Yeah.
So I don't remember most of the shows. Yeah, it was just an interesting time to say the least because I was stepping into my adulthood, but then it backtracks. Like I was still holding that stuff from grade school
Mhm.
and high school, and I was like, oh, I'm kind of like a popular kid now. I was definitely a douche, drunk douche on many occasions.
Mhm.
Because I was like, oh, I never got to do all this stuff that everybody else did.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm doing
right.
it now.
I'm making up for it now.
Yeah.
I get to do it now.
So in my head, I'm like, oh, yeah, this is okay. Everybody else got to do it. So
Right.
I'm allowed to do it now.
Yeah.
And, but I was burning bridges and stuff and hurting people's feelings, not intentionally, but just in my head, I'm like, oh, look at me. I'm finally like, I'm growing. I'm experiencing life. You guys are but they're looking at me like, dude, you're a douchebag. Like,
Yeah.
You're bragging about stuff that you're doing and whatever, and just experiencing and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, it's annoying. So yeah, that was a different dark time. I was in relationships and I would get cheated on, but it was always weird being in relationships just because like having that delay on life where I'd be dating somebody that I don't know, they already experienced all that. So at the same time, it's like, oh, you're like a child
Right.
and all
Right.
this
Right.
stuff, and I don't feel that way. But at the same time, I was blocking myself out from seeing it by drinking and all that nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a different growth period where I was actually halting myself from growing.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it ties back into music because then I was writing better. Even in the beginning of writing, I would get made fun of, in a sense, because my stuff was too poppy or whatever. Like I'd be around these other songwriters that were very talented. They'd come up with their own clever way of doing things, their own styles, and I was kind of portraying what was popular or what I gravitated towards based off of my emotions.
I was gonna say, yeah, which is stuff that you like to listen to, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you're gravitating towards that, yeah.
But I was with the cool. There was even bullying in music. I was with these very talented songwriters at the time and playing all these open mics, and so then I start beating myself up about how I'm writing. Then my writing's getting confusing.
Yeah.
Because I'm like trying to branch out of what I was writing to find different avenues. So I mean, all of it was a blessing in the end anyway, but got me to where I am now. But yeah, it was just, and then I would just drink. If something wasn't working out or didn't feel comfortable, I would drink. It's like, all right, I'm having a rough day or this is a rough time. I gotta pause this. I need to drink.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just a bad routine. But yeah, I mean, and I'm trying to think. It was back in 2011. It was an exciting moment because I met somebody at Jocelyn's, of course.
Mm-hmm. As one does.
Yes. So in a sense, my networking paid off. He's still a buddy of mine to today, but he had connections with the major record labels. And I remember hanging out with him, showing him my stuff, and he was loving it. And so he was able to get a phone call with Columbia Records.
Oh, wow.
That was in 2011. And their suggestion was to drop Tom and just go as Curtis Jr. So obviously I've taken that.
Yeah.
But I was burning myself out like crazy. Aside from drinking and partying and all that stuff, I was like, all right, I need to get all this stuff done there. Like get the band tight, get an album done. They said sell 10,000 copies of your record and get 75,000 followers on social media. Then we will work a deal with you. So I'm going insane.
So you're just hustling.
Yeah.
Like hell.
But not also at the same time, not necessarily knowing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm just like, all right, I just got to go. And
yeah.
I ended up burning myself out entirely. And I took off from music for probably a month at least. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm just, this is too much. And then I came back to my senses eventually and was like, all right, if a record label, or if I'm able to get 75,000 followers on my own, I don't need a record label.
Yeah.
Because that's a lot of people. I know there's a lot more people out there, but
there's a lot of people. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I cooled back down. I came back down to earth, and then I randomly landed in a band called the Loose Lips.
Oh, okay.
We were out in media. It was very interesting. It was like a pop rock hip hop band where I would sing poppy hooks and rap occasionally and all this stuff.
I don't know that I ever saw this, and now I'm upset that I never saw this.
Yeah, we were at Picasso's. We did Jocelyn's. We played the Truck.
Oh, okay.
We kind of bursted pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But so they were. This is actually circling back. They were the reason why I went full time with music, because they were like, we need you here more. We need you in the studio more, or whatever. We just need you more available. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna jump out of Starbucks and go for it.
Yeah, all in.
Yeah, and then it's like, all right, well, I need money, and that wasn't producing the money. So I was like, all right, well, I got to start doing these cover gigs, and then so I started taking on my gigs, and then we would get offered a gig as the band at Jocelyn's, and they're like, nah, I don't want to do that. I'm like, all right, well, can I take that shift? Like,
yeah. I just go solo.
Yeah. And And that started bothering them. It's like, oh, you're doing your own thing, blah, blah, blah. You're not into this. I got real weird and paranoid. So I ended up bailing on that. And they got super like territorial. And two other members that were in the band was Bundy. You know Bundy?
Sounds familiar, but no. I don't
So
know.
he was the drummer of our 3 band for many years out in media. There was another guy, Pete Mazzaro. They were in the band and they were starting to play Curtis Jr. shows with me. We were Curtis Jr. It was just 3-piece.
Yeah.
We were playing shows at Love Park and the Note out in Westchester, and we were doing some cool stuff. And I'd still been writing on my own, like on the side, even though I wasn't doing Curtis Jr. shows at the time. I was just doing Loose Lip shows.
Right.
So I was getting to put that new stuff out with them, and it was going really well.
So you're playing the stuff that you wrote at this point.
Yeah.
With them. That's cool.
It got to the point where they were like, all right, whoever plays the Curtis Jr. show at Jocelyn's is no longer in this band and will no longer be on the record. And so I was like, all right, whatever. There should not be this much drama involved in a band. So the other 2 went to the studio. They grabbed all their gear and they left. And that was the end of Loose Lips.
Yeah.
And that's where Curtis Jr. started. It was just, there was a lot of different waves of emotion and energy and just during that time for sure. Long time ago.
All right. So now you're doing the Curtis Jr. thing and you're going, and you're all in with the music still, right?
Mm-hmm.
100%. And you're still drinking through all of it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
100%, right?
Yeah. Cause that was another thing. I was like, I was trying to be not nervous.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel that.
Telling myself I wasn't nervous.
Right.
But I was.
Yeah.
So that would require a shot and a beer before every gig.
Same. Yeah. I would have to do 2 shots, 2 beers.
Yeah.
And be like, all right, my nerves are fine now. My
Mm-hmm.
nerves were still shot. They were just drenched in alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
So
Totally.
I didn't feel them.
Yeah. And it was funny because actually during Loose Lips, the main rapper, the head of the band, he didn't drink or do anything. He was sober.
Wow.
So I actually stopped drinking for a minute to get on that level, and it felt good. But then that band collapsed, so I was like, all right, drinks.
Back to it.
Yeah, right back to it. So I mean, that was the other downfall of being a musician, is that you're getting paid some money and then you're getting drinks on the house.
Right. Yeah.
So it's part of the deal. But also, the more I would drink, the more comfortable I would get, because it would block out all my nerves.
Yeah.
So I could go for it more when it came to performing. So I just was like, all right, well, this is part of it. Like it's part of me. This is what makes this work for now. And I'm just going to keep doing it. And
it's working, if you're getting up there and you're killing it and Curtis Jr.'s still going, what I mean? Like, all right, well, like, there's nothing wrong with this. Let's just keep going.
Yeah.
I'm having a good time while I do it too. So why stop?
Yeah.
You're becoming the rock star.
Yeah.
You're going and going and going and it's all working. And do you remember when, it took a turn where you're like, oh shit.
Yeah. Actually, it took a turn before this, but I didn't learn from my lesson.
Okay.
2010. That was when I was newly drinking legally. First DUI. And that was, of course, I was coming from an open mic. I made the mistake of going out to, we were friends with these au pairs or whatever, because they would come in, they'd be working in the area and they were given a list of places to go hang out. So they would hang out at the open mics or whatever. And one of them was moving back to Germany or something. So they're like, oh yeah, we're out here, come say bye, whatever. So we all left the open mic, in which we could drink at. And we went out there, and then I'm going home. Of course, so the place I went to, I am now in charge of their music, which is kind of funny. I haven't been there since, but now I'm in charge of their music. So yeah, and then I rolled home, and the car hydroplated when I was going down the hill, I tried catching it, and it just started going back and forth. And then at the bottom of the hill, it swung all the way right and went head on into a telephone pole.
Oof.
Yeah. Now, yeah, that whole situation was messy because it was like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
And thank God there was an EMT who just got off work. He was rolling down the block and right behind me, and so he gets out, make sure I'm okay. I'm okay. So all the rest of the stuff happens. But a funny little moment in that is I was listening. Of course, Little Lion Man by Mumford and Sons was playing while I crashed the car. It's not your fault, but mine. I really fucked it up this time.
Yeah.
So that album, I was very attached to that album at the time because it was working through my emotions once again.
Uh-huh.
And so I remember the car was totaled. Next day I went back to the car to get stuff out, and I couldn't get that CD out. So I ripped the CD player out of the dashboard. I went home and I unscrewed it, and I got the CD out. I was very determined. But yeah, so that was a big moment. I had a driving job at the time, so I just assumed I had to quit. So I quit, and that was like the first rock bottom, where I lost a bunch of things that I had, and I had to start over.
Mm-hmm.
So then fast forward that Columbia Records thing, and I'm burning myself out with that because I'm like, all right, I'm trying to find life again. I'm trying to find some form of acceptance or success or something, trying to ignore what I did wrong. That all went down, but yeah, fast forward Curtis Jr., we're doing well. We're playing shows here and there. I'm doing the cover shows too. I got them involved with that. 2018 rolls around, and at that point, I did have to work at Starbucks again because I finally moved into my own place.
Mm.
So I was like, all right, here's adult life.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to do what you got to do.
Need real money to make this work. So I opened up a new Starbucks somewhere for a little bit. Then I got cheated on once again at that house. Found a guy in the house, blah, blah, blah. And then we broke up, but we were still living together. So that was sketchy. And then I went and got a second DUI coming from a gig as that was happening.
Yeah.
And so I finally, my emotions were insane at the time. I was just firing on all cylinders.
Especially if your living condition isn't great.
Yeah.
Staying with an ex,
yeah.
There's no safe spot for you mentally at that point. So.
No, yeah, it was kind of like, all right, well, my name's on the lease. I can't leave this house until you do, because I don't want, after having like plates broken over the head and stuff like that, like I was like, I can't trust you here. So I had to wait, and then that happened, and then I'm like of course I'm drinking even more, and starting to cool down, like, and kind of get grips back on life a little bit, and then my guitarist Petey overdosed and died.
Oof.
And it was all in like a span of like 3 months. Yeah, so it was real heavy at that point. And then I finally was able to get out of that house, move back with my parents. That was second rock bottom. That was like, all right, I have to start completely over again.
Yeah, let's erase everything again and start rebuilding once more.
Yeah, so it's just kind of like kept playing shows and whatnot.
I mean, between the DUI, living with your ex, and then, PD overdosing, I imagine you had to crawl out of that darkness, that spot, you know what I mean? To rebuild. That's another brutal stretch, man.
Yeah, it was just, I remember the one thing was I wanted to bury a hole in the backyard, put a beach chair in it, and sit there until everything passed.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I can't see light in any direction.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know any options I can take to get away. I was trying to get away.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I want to get away from this. I don't want to be in this. I don't want to live through this. Because it was just so much weight on top of me. But at the same time, like looking back, like I caused some of it for myself for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm responsible for that. But I didn't see it that way. It was just kind of still working through my emotions and just rolling with life and expecting life to just work out for me one day.
Yeah.
Having that mindset that we blind ourselves with when we're younger. But yeah, it was heavy. And then, that's when I started having practice for COVID, because I did the whole house arrest thing and everything. But I wrote like a maniac. couldn't drink during that, and I wrote like a maniac, and that helped me immensely. Wrote so
During your
many
house arrest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wrote so many songs. I was still able to work and stuff, so I'd leave to go play gigs. I actually started bartending again. That's when I was bartending at Jocelyn's, of course. I could never get away from Jocelyn's.
Yeah.
It's a black hole.
It's a Death Star.
Yeah.
Pulls you right in.
But yeah, so then, and then it's like I got out of that. I started working hard again at the music, still drinking and whatnot, but I'm working harder at music. I'm like, all right, I'm going to set up some cool events. I'm going to set some cool stuff up for the band, not just for myself. Had all this stuff lined up, and then COVID hit, and it canceled all of it.
Yeah.
I was like, come on, man. Come on, just one breath of fresh air.
Yeah, let me just get a fucking win somewhere
just
here.
Something.
For God's sakes.
But like I said, with the blessing of having to go on house arrest, is I was already prepared to sit in the house and not be able to go anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, it was your spring training for COVID.
Yeah. So, basically, exactly. Yeah, so, and I know that hit a lot of people very, very hard because it forced them to be with themselves, and they didn't know how to do that. But yeah, I don't know, ever since that, it's been uphill for the most part. I mean, I met my lovely wife, Ashley, and we both stopped drinking on the same day together.
That's incredible. Both quit on the same day.
Yeah, because it got to the point where we met, and it was coming out of COVID. Funny, we grew up 4 or 5 blocks from each other, and we never met each other. But it was at the bar, of course, like outside of the bar, the local bar in Springfield.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were getting to know each other. We'd sit outside, hang out, have fires. We're both just drinking. We're both in COVID drinking mode.
Mm.
Everybody really learned how to drink during COVID.
Yeah, everybody had a slushy machine. Everybody was drinking all hours of the day. I think my grandmother had a slushy machine installed in her fucking kitchen at one point. It was wild.
Yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, I don't know, it got to a point where it was just, we couldn't hang the same anymore, and I was turning into my gremlin anytime I had whiskey or whatever, liquor. And I wasn't the best version of me. It was getting to a point where I was running into walls.
Did you see it coming? Like, for me, I felt like it was coming before I threw myself off my deck. I feel like months leading up to that, even almost a year before then, I remember thinking to myself, I already had the thoughts of like, how could I quit? If I wanted to quit drinking, how could I possibly quit? I started having the debate in my brain, maybe I should think about quitting or pulling back or trying something. Like, I knew I was running out of time in terms of my drinking and it catching up to me. I was blacking out all the time. I was getting to that, whether I wanted to admit it out loud or anything yet, but I was exhausted with it and I was getting to the point. Do you remember feeling that at all leading up to when you decided to quit, or did something happen and you're like, nah, fuck it, I'm out?
Absolutely. Yeah. I had it in the back of my brain. I've had alcoholics in the family and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I saw it firsthand. Just crazy stuff. So I knew, I was like, I always made a promise with myself. I was like, I'm never going to let myself get there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cause I saw what it put my family through. And I was like, I know I'm going hard right now, but I know that I'm either going to chill out one day or I'm going to stop.
Right.
So then it got to that point, where we couldn't hang the same anymore, and just drinking the same stuff, but getting drunker and just taking a toll on my body and everything. And, we both took the plunge at the same time. Of course, my ex died unexpectedly 2 days before I stopped drinking.
Wow.
So I don't know if I used that in a sense. It was kind of like, it was a weird time just because like I'm happy and in love with my wife.
Right.
We weren't. I don't even think. Yeah, we weren't even married yet, but we were doing well. We were also trying to like be better, in a better situation for ourselves. And that happened, and it was just kind of like, it was weird because I wasn't in a relationship anymore.
Right.
But it's just attacking my head the back of my head, and it was
Well,
just
you still had a connection to that person at one point in
yeah,
time in your life.
yeah,
I mean, that's
yeah,
you can't erase that no matter what.
yeah. So it was a very weird time, but at the same time, I was like, all right, if I can get through this without alcohol, then I can get through anything.
Yeah.
So I mean, he used it in a sense to help me, and my wife was there for me and everything and whatnot. And it was just like, all right, I'm gonna do this. We're gonna pull the plug. And I was like, I was a drinker. I was a drinker. Can't even talk
I was a
anymore.
drinker. Um, the news of your ex's passing, did that hit you harder than you expected, or was it kind of, did it just how did that hit you?
Yeah, it was shocking.
Yeah.
Just because, just I don't know, just the way like it unfolded. Like your cousin called me. I'm at one of my best friend's weddings.
Oof.
And just like, yo, Tom, like this happened last night, and I was just like, what? Like, I don't know, it
Yeah.
was just kind of like I wasn't expecting that. It was weird in the first place that I was getting a call from him, but I was like, why would he be calling me right now? I felt like it was like an emergency.
Mm-hmm. You kind of had that feeling
Yeah,
answering the phone.
yeah. So I was like, and he was always cool to me. But it was definitely like shocking. It was like, what just happened? It's like I'm not involved in that anymore. At the same time, it was like 4 years of my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stepkids involved, all the stuff, house together, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it was a weird happening. It was like it was reality, but at the same time, it was like a different reality. It was
Mhm.
an old reality. So it was just very mixed emotions. And like I knew, like yeah, like I was grieving because, like you said, like you don't lose that. There's still some type of connection there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but at the same time, I was in this new reality where life was starting to make more sense.
Right. Right.
So it was just it was
a-
strange.
It's a bizarre feeling
Yeah.
for sure. It's almost like
Yeah.
I'm looking on the multiverse, like,
Yeah,
this road that I could have been down, or, this person I was with, like, as you turn this corner with this other person that that you truly love, it's got to be a bizarre feeling.
yeah, yeah. But yeah. So I just kept pushing. My motto has always been: anytime I know somebody that dies, I live 10 times harder. Not like push myself physically harder. It's just like, all right, they're not living anymore, so I'm gonna live for them.
Yeah. Love that.
And that was the way I could make sense of the deaths back in 8th grade.
I was going to say, I mean, your story is not the entire time, but you definitely have been peppered with loss
Yeah.
through your story,
Yeah, it's just there was a lot of random stuff.
Mhm.
But I was like, I need something to motivate me because otherwise it's just darkness everywhere.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, you know what? They're not here anymore. So I'm gonna live for them while I'm here, and so forth. Yeah. Then once I quit drinking, that was one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life.
Mm.
I hit that 3-week mark where I felt like I escaped the trap of it, the weight of drinking it. I didn't realize it was there the whole time.
Yeah.
Like it subliminally or subconsciously, it was like, all right, well, I'm hungover, but I know that it's almost like, hey, get another drink, because it'll make that hangover go away, or like just you have that itch
Mhm.
to have another drink because it numbs everything out or it pauses whatever problems you have. So this time I was like, all right, I don't have that. It's gone. But I felt that itch lift away from me.
Mm.
Like almost like it was like the grip of it. It was like I escaped.
Yeah.
And I started to see myself genuinely and honestly. And it was weird at first because you're trying to understand, like, all right, is this who I am? Is this just my weird brain like sober now? Like it's trying to figure out what the hell's going on.
Right.
So like you're just kind of rolling with it, taking it day by day. So that was a huge thing, going day by day instead of thinking of the big picture, because that just overwhelms everybody's brains.
I mean, when I was thinking about quitting, I would be like, yeah, but Phillies start in 2 months. Like,
Yeah.
I can't drink during the Phillies, or like my buddy's birthday's in a couple of weeks. I'm not going to drink during. Like, I would immediately time jump and find a reason why I can't stop drinking right now. Maybe after all this, I'll quit drinking. You know what I mean? So, day by day is not even in terms of drinking, just in terms of living your life too. There's something to that for sure.
Yeah, I think it's possibly one of the best strategies. But yeah, I started being like, all right, well, I can see myself. I can feel myself again. And it's almost like I found the freedom that I was looking for the whole entire time.
Yeah, even since high school.
Yeah. And it was just this new freedom. It was like, all right, I'm me again. That childhood version of me is still there. It's not defeated. I have a new opportunity. It's like starting a completely new life. It's like a second chance.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. It's strange at the same time. That's bittersweet for sure, because your friends start changing. You start losing the friends that you drank with like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
People were so used to that character that you were that whole entire time. And then all of a sudden you're stepping back into who you are, and they don't know who that is. Or it also makes them feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
About what they're doing, so they start acting strange towards you. So it was just like, it was weird new obstacles that were popping up, but at the same time it was more freedom.
It was exciting in the same way.
Yeah, it was the truth and honesty. But yeah, I remember, 3-week mark was when I went to Key West for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
But I got through that week, and that was the first time I had a non-alcoholic beer. I wasn't even having any of them in the beginning, because I don't want anything to make me think about this. I mean, I didn't go to classes or anything or meetings. I was still bartending at the time, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to keep doing this. I was starting the day I quit. The next day I was starting an open mic at a brewery.
Would you just drink water?
Yeah, or coffee.
Coffee.
I was a coffee nut. But I was like, I want to be as comfortable as possible, as quickly as possible. I want to get the hang of this. I don't want to make it a thing. I don't want to have crutches. I don't want to trade it necessarily for anything that might hold me back at some point again. I really wanted to, instead of trying to go around it or move alongside of it, I wanted to go through it.
Yeah,
I wanted
love
to
that.
face it
Right.
entirely and be like, all right, this is what's happening now, and take responsibility for myself and my life. And yeah, we're a little over 4 years now.
It's awesome.
I don't even think about it, but occasionally there's a little, like, you see people happy and just, we're gonna do a shot, and it's like, oh man, I miss those little moments.
Yeah.
People being happy together. But at the same time, it's like, I feel great.
Right.
And I know they're not going to feel great.
And if that was me, I'd be like, yeah, I want to do a shot. And then everyone would be like, yeah, cool. I'd be like, yeah, let's do another one right now.
Yeah.
Like, I know I would absolutely ruin that moment.
Yeah. I mean,
So.
I still occasionally shotgun non-alcoholic beers with my buddies.
Yeah. See, the Athletic Light beers, have you ever had those before?
Yes.
Phenomenal. So, I mean, so you said you're 4 years in, 4+ years in?
Yeah. Yeah. Been 5 years in April.
Wow. Congratulations to you and your wife.
Thank you. Right back at you, man.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a game changer for sure. You know? I really like that you said that. I like that you pointed out that you had to go back and find that kid that you were after thinking that he was like gone, dead and buried, or that no longer existed in you because you had to try to be somebody else as you go and stuff like that. When you speak about finding that kid again, how does that affect you from you now? You know what I mean? When you talk about that, like who you are now.
Yeah. So, over the years, when I was finally figuring out the adult version, I was like, all right, well, in order to become the adult, you have to kill the kid, metaphorically speaking.
Yeah.
You need to not fall victim to emotions as much, because if you let that run wild, it'll lead you to drink or like all those things. Not saying go like full blast hard on yourself, but like you can push some of that stuff aside because it's blinding you, and the brain will run and operate on its own. The kid, I always tell everyone, if they're trying to like figure out who they are, what they want to do, anything, I'm like, go back to the kid version of you. Like, put yourself there mentally. Like, I can go back to me when I'm playing with action figures, sitting on the floor in the living room or outside in the bushes playing with my dinosaurs, acting like it was actually Jurassic Park. But having that unlimited happiness and peace and creativity and passion. The tough part is, I mean, you trust everything back then. So that might be the one downfall, but you can't trust everything. But yeah, just having that passion, that motivation, that just never ending joy. So like, for example, I have stepped back into weather.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, I don't care what anybody thinks now.
Yeah.
I'm going to be me until the day I die. That is it. If you're on board, cool, come hang out. If not, it's okay. Like, there's so many different humans on this planet. Everybody's unique. Everybody's on their own path, their own timeline. Yeah, so I follow weather like a psychopath. I am a certified weather spotter for the National Weather Service now. To any listeners that don't know what that means, say there's a storm coming, has a tornado warning on it. If you look at the information, it says a radar indicated rotation. So they can see rotation, so they put a tornado warning on it just for the sake of it, for safety. Say I'm on the ground in front of that storm and I see a physical tornado from the sky to the ground. I can call the National Weather Service. I can tell them my name, and I tell them there's a confirmed tornado on the ground. They will update that weather warning to say there is a confirmed tornado on the ground, confirmed by Weather Spotter. So it's kind of like being a tornado chaser.
Yeah,
it's a little closer.
You're like a secret agent of tornado chasers.
Yes,
it's pretty badass.
Yeah, I love it. I took some courses on it and stuff. That was, I guess, I've told some people like either my next career path or my retirement plan is to chase tornadoes.
That's cool.
So I'm back in that. I do my alien hunting. I firmly believe that there are other beings out there. I think it's impossible to not believe that, because there's giant, enormous universe, and I can't wrap my head around the fact that we're the only ones inside of it.
I agree with that.
Yeah, and I've seen some UFOs.
You've seen them in person?
Yes.
Like, you've seen them?
Yes, multiple times.
Yeah.
To the point where they don't surprise me now. But I stare at the sky often. And so I know what an airplane looks like. I know what a weather balloon looks like. I know what a satellite looks like, a helicopter, all those things. And I've seen some stuff that doesn't act like any of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, cool. All right. Well, they accept me. So I've got a tight little bond with them. I am super tight with God. I don't go to church, but I have a cool connection with him. So, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call myself religious. I am in a sense, but I'm also spiritual.
You're a spiritual man who's tight with God.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I think my angels and all that are looking out for me. They send me little messages whenever they can. It's course corrected my decisions and where I go. And I've had blessings on the other side of making those decisions. So it's like, all right, somebody's helping me out. Somebody's helping out. But I had to give them, or the universe or source, whatever you want to call it, they give them permission to come in and help me. You can't just sit there and
look for it.
You can't sit there and just wait. Like, it'd be like, all right, well, they're going to come help me now, because it just doesn't work though. It's like, yo, I need some help. Come down and give me some nudges if you can. But anyway, so there's that. I still watch skateboarding videos as much as I would love to jump on a skateboard. I won't do it. We'll see. Maybe one day, sooner than later. But yeah, so I have stepped back into that child, and
Yeah.
it's helped me write better. It's helped me understand who I am. Like I finally feel like I am exactly who I'm supposed to be.
Well, all those things nourish your soul, you know?
Yeah,
And I think
yeah. It's just we're supposed to. I always say
I feel that.
we're born exactly how we are supposed to be, how we
Yeah.
are meant to be. And yeah, of course, we need a little course correction and some discipline to like not go too wacky about it. But and then that is disrupted by the matrix of society.
Well, yeah, societal norms and
Yeah, the
must
giant
haves.
safety net.
Yeah.
For humans, be like, oh well, this is the way that we figured works best for everyone as a whole. So you got to do it. And I do understand the importance of it, but at the same time, I think every human has the capability to figure out exactly who they are and create. I think every human has the capability of
Mhm.
creating, and I'm not talking just music or art. Like I always tell people that are trying to figure out like what they want to do. I'm like, well, just what truly brings joy to your heart. What are you very fascinated about? Like dive into that. Don't be scared to dive in just because people told you not to do that because it's frowned upon. I could tell you how many times people have told me, oh, when are you going to get a real job?
Right.
Like it's
Right.
all right, beat it, dude. You're going to die miserably, or you're going to be miserable for most of your life because you followed that. I'm following my heart because it's where my happiness is. And the happier I am, the more happiness and joy I can spread to other people.
Yeah.
If I don't do that, I'm half-assing anything I do for other people because I'm not giving it my all because I'm not happy.
Well, I mean, I think you see a lot of that right now, nowadays
so
out
much.
there, of just people shitting on other people
Yeah.
because they're doing something that brings them joy, even though it doesn't even affect them, but they just see joy in somebody else and they're immediately, whether they realize it or not, they're jealous of it and they need to shove it out. You know what I mean? They need
Yeah.
to stamp that out of there.
I hate it.
And bring those people down, and it's important to tell people like, don't just fucking do you, man. Just do what you got to do. Don't worry about that. You know what I mean? Just go painting, go take shots with your action figures out in the field and take pictures, or, jump on a skateboard again. Do what you want to do.
Whatever you
Don't
wanna do.
worry about the outside world, but we're so enclosed. Everyone is so enclosed with social media that it's like impossible. You know what I mean? It's impossible to not think of like, well, once I post a picture of something, you have a bunch of people shitting on you, or
Yeah.
it goes viral for the wrong reasons or whatever it is. It's
like I'm in grade school again.
Yeah, it's super frustrating, and it's I just picked up last summer. I just started playing softball again, baseball, and for the first time in I don't know how long. And I played basketball before then. I was literally like, oh my god, that's right. I used to play basketball all the time. I should buy a basketball and play, and I did. I would just have pickup games up at the school up here in Media.
Yeah.
And it was great. I was terrible. People were
yeah.
laughing at me because I was so terrible, but I didn't give a shit.
Yeah,
you know what I
doesn't
mean?
matter.
Yeah, I felt like I was 10 years old again out there in the basketball court.
Yeah,
but
I actually tried playing basketball. I was pretty decent at basketball in high school. I will say that.
Yeah.
But I did start playing a little bit with some friends last year.
It's great.
I lost my shot.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
Definitely lost my shot.
It's been a minute.
Yeah. But yeah, I think like every human is just, there's so much potential, and I think society tries to suppress that because they don't want everybody blossoming. I don't know, it just
Yeah, I mean, art is the ultimate rebellion, in a way. So
I think in every I'm not preaching to like tell people to get evicted from their houses to go start a new hobby or something like that and just rely on it. But like you can slowly position yourself to be able to do what you want to do on a work level. Like you can get paid to like, just, I don't know, if I went to arts and crafts or something, or I don't know, video games or something, like if that made my heart burst, it's like, all right, find a way to make this a job.
Yeah. Find that feeling and follow that.
Yeah.
Follow that string.
Yeah. Like don't block it out because you were told that you can't do it. Like pay attention to it, stay aware of it, and open your mind to it. That's the biggest thing, is opening your mind, like giving it permission to possibly become something bigger than it is. because we're shutting our brains up. Like we're putting walls up, telling ourselves that we're not allowed to do that when you're here once on Earth.
Yeah.
Once. And everything that you burn yourself out for does not go with you. It's all done. So why did you waste all that precious life and experience killing yourself?
Yeah.
Over things that didn't bring you joy. It doesn't make sense to me. I know it's easier said than done, but it is possible. But circling back to the inner child and all that stuff, I saw a great thing the other day. A fellow motivational speaker, I believe he goes as JB on TikTok or something. I love it. He wears whatever he wants. He could have a pearl necklace on or whatever, and cool trucker hat and some weird grandma sweater. Like he just wears whatever. He's totally diving into himself and trying to help others while he's doing it. He was doing an interview with I guess a super professional high-end psychiatrist, somebody that really understands humans. But he was talking and he's like, all right, how do you feel right now? And he's like, all right, I have anxiety maybe. And he's like, no, like, tell me what you feel. And he's like, all right, I have tightness in my chest. He said, okay, focus on that. He said, that's a 4-year-old child trying to talk to you. And he said, the kid didn't go anywhere. It's still in there trying to get your attention, trying to tell you what's right and wrong. It's telling you that it doesn't want to feel that. Or it's pushing on you because you're doing things that are not aligned with who you actually are.
Yeah.
So all this stress and other things that we're feeling every single day, that's our inner child trying to talk to us again.
Pushing on you. Yeah.
Yeah. Being like you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing.
Love that.
Or you're stressing yourself out with something that you don't need to stress yourself out with.
Yeah.
It's super deep.
That's pretty cool.
Many different levels. But I did love that because it's true. It's like I said, we're born exactly how we're supposed to be.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I can go deeper where it's like, all right, well, also we were stuck on this earth with everything that we needed, not everything we wanted. There's a difference there.
Mm-hmm.
And we have so many different things now that are distracting us from just being natural and being happy, and down to all the technology and social media and just all this different materials. And unfortunately, a lot of humans think that the more materials they have, the happier they're going to be.
Yeah.
They waste all their money on it and it doesn't do anything because all the answers are actually inside of us. And by quitting drinking, I was finally able to see that. Yeah, it's some deep stuff, but
yeah. And that's what sobriety brings along, you know, putting down the bottle anyways, you start feeling everything, you know, and I said it before in an episode, but you do. I mean, and it's an important part. Going back to that kid, you feel that kid inside of you pushing on you, and you start waking up and you start feeling like, oh my God, yeah, I did have passions that I completely forgot about. And then you realize you can just start doing things, and, you know, within reason, obviously. I'm not going to start setting buildings on fire, but like,
don't do that.
You can literally just go buy a basketball and just start playing basketball. Like I'm going to, you know, you can literally just start coloring or start writing out of nowhere. I had an idea for a horror movie that I really wanted to see. And I was blown away that nobody had this idea to make this movie. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to write it. And then that blossomed into a Patreon that I'm currently doing right now. You know what I mean? So now I have an outlet for my writing. Like that is the important part, is kind of waking up and remembering that child inside of you, and then taking that and running with it and having that wonder again.
Yeah.
That wonder and excitement and hunger for fresh experiences in life.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like
it's a big one.
There's so many people are beating themselves up based upon what others think. And in reality, most are actually just worried about themselves.
Yeah, for sure.
We're building these things inside of our brains where it's like, everybody's thinking about me every single second of the day. It's like, no, that is not happening.
Yeah, I guarantee you they're not.
They're doing the same thing you're doing right now.
Yeah.
So we need to stop worrying about everybody else. Like, obviously, just all positive intentions.
It's the saying, comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, absolutely. And it it blinds you from seeing the open doors that'll pop up in front of you.
Yeah.
Like, because even with my writing, it's like I kept all that in my head for a long time. Like, oh, what are these people going to think? What are these pros going to think? This is how everybody does it, so I should do it this way. And it's like I finally got to the point where I was like, no, I need to just make this music for me. And the more I do that, the more I'm giving it my all.
Right. Right.
And I'm not filtering it based on what I think people are going to think. It's just, no, this is my expression. If you understand it, or if you can relate to it, or if it makes you feel better, like, come on board. If not, it's okay. There's so many different bands, there's so many different styles. But I felt so much peace and joy from doing that this time. Because for the longest time I would write and record and just, I don't know, set up shows and just do different things that like everybody else was doing all the time, because I thought that you had to, or you were considered not good or something like that.
Right.
I don't know. But I finally let all that go and just, but I still held on to that. Like, I'm speaking of my new record that's coming out. Like, I'm in love with it because it's different and I didn't filter it based upon what other people will think. It's just, I don't know, it's me. I'm stepping out of the box. I'm allowing myself to explore where before I wouldn't. So I was still battling some of that stuff being sober.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I was actually able to course correct where in the past I couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's just do what brings you joy, and it leads you to a position where you have more capabilities of helping others at a fuller potential.
Yeah. And that's what it's ultimately all about.
Yeah,
Just helping out your fellow human
yeah.
while you're here.
I feel like a lot of people they feel selfish
Mm-hmm.
taking care of themselves, or like taking the time to focus on themselves. They're
Yeah.
like, oh well, no, that's like egotistical. It's like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah. I'd say
selfish.
you're allowed to celebrate you're allowed to celebrate yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but like, I think every human should take the time to themselves to take care of themselves, to
Yeah.
praise themselves, to help themselves. Because if they're not doing that, then I don't know.
You should be your
It's
biggest cheerleader.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
true. So how's your music been since sobering up, since unlocking that inner child?
Incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just spoke about an album that's coming out soon. When's the next album due?
Friday, September 22nd.
Oh, okay.
No, wow. Whew, wrong year. Friday, September 26th.
Friday, September 26th.
Yeah, it'll be a brand new record.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm very excited about this one.
You
But
said
yeah,
this one's like you've changed up the style. You're kind of
yes. Yeah, I stayed very present. I went with the flow, and I just went with what came out naturally.
it's awesome.
Yeah, it's very different. It makes me giggle at the same time. Like, I feel like emotions like of proudness and joy, and it's like, all right, I finally let go.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like it's goofy, but it also it plays into all the different problems that are happening in the world at the same time. So it's sarcastic as well.
Love that.
Yeah, yeah. I'm all about sarcasm.
Same.
Um,
Big fan.
yes, but yeah, the music's been incredible the last couple of years. It's funny because I relied on alcohol to be able to sing,
Yeah.
and once I stopped, I could hit my highest note
Oh, no shit.
immediately.
Really?
Yeah, so I was actually slowing myself down the
That's
whole
kind of
time.
crazy.
Yeah, and then I went and did the whole Key West thing, which was just incredible. Yeah, went down for a wedding, like I said, 3 weeks after we stopped drinking. But my wife had lived there 7 years before we met, and so she brought me down, and I just saw nothing but music, people, and just energy every single day. I
Yeah.
was like, I gotta get down there, and so we gave it a shot. Right after we got married, it was like a little, somewhat of a honeymoon, even though I was working the whole time. Going for 2 months, we stayed for 7 months. and just gigged like a maniac. Was able to challenge myself in new ways. I started singing better than I ever could before.
Wow.
Playing better than I learned more about myself just because it was almost like I took my package of working on myself for 19 years with music up here. I brought it down there in front of a bunch of strangers because up here it's like people saw me in the beginning when I sucked. And then they see me again and suck a little less. And then I get a little better. So there's no like surprise factor or anything. It was just kind of like, so like I think some people still hold those original I don't know, images of me back then in their head. I think that, oh, that's who he is. I promise you I'm not that person anymore for anybody listening. I'm a very new person. But I was able to take that and put it in front of people. So I had people up here being like, oh, you're going to fall on your face. You're not going to make it. It's not going to work, whatever. My cheerleaders. And it just, it exploded. And it was just never ending gigs and at almost every venue and different crowd for every shows, people from all over the world down there every day on cruise ships and whatnot. And I was really able to like step into me.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have those people that I don't know, just, I still had them in my head, but at the same time I was like, no, I need to get past that. I need to, like, I need to prove to myself that all this is worth doing.
Right.
I'm doing the right thing. And it proved itself, over and over again. So that like really established my confidence, but it also humbled me at the same time. And it it made me feel better with myself. After all the haters were telling me, no, you're not going to do anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was incredible. And then I go back and forth now. And I'm able to create more on the scene up here and try to come up with new ideas and new evolutions for music. I've allowed myself the freedom to create more and come up with new concepts, try to help more people work together instead of trying to compete with each other.
Mm.
Yeah, so it's just, all in all, it's just been phenomenal. But I'm still just getting started.
Love that. Just getting started.
Yeah.
You mentioned that album that's coming out on the 26th
Yes.
of September. Where can people find that?
You can find it on all streaming platforms.
Okay. What's the album called?
Baby Making Music.
Is it really called Baby Making Music?
Yes.
Okay. I love that.
Thanks.
It's incredible. And it's Tommy Curtis Jr., Tom Curtis.
Just Curtis Jr.
Just Curtis Jr.
Yes. Curtis Jr. Jr. There is an artist out there also called Curtis Jr. He spells it out. He wears a bandana on his face, so he doesn't want anybody to see who he is. That's not me.
Interesting.
Yeah, I just learned that this summer.
I'm definitely going to look that up as well.
Yeah, it's fine. I haven't listened yet. I do want to listen just to see what's up.
Yeah.
But.
So Curtis Jr., JR, September 26th, Baby Making Music is the name of the album that's dropping.
Yes.
I'll definitely check that out.
Yeah.
And then also, I know you've talked to me about 3 years sobriety. You've been also wanting to help people out.
Yes.
And help out your fellow neighbors, fellow humans. I know you're in year 2, or you do a concert every year?
Yeah.
Benefiting?
Yeah. So this will be the second annual Drinking Tree Festival.
Mm-hmm.
It's at our house in Springfield alongside our wonderful neighbors. We all team up together. I couldn't do it without them. I handle the music portion. They handle all the other stuff.
Yeah.
But we're raising awareness and funds for our neighbor's daughter who has Williams syndrome. It's kind of like a rare form of Down syndrome that they're still learning a lot about. So there's still a lot of research involved, but there aren't as many funds involved. So we're really trying to help them as much as possible because my wife, Ashley, she's worked with special needs for a long time and everything. She's wonderful with them. So
I have a few friends that work in that field as well.
Yeah.
So
it takes a very special human to work in that area. But yeah, so we're raising funds for that to help our little neighbor May. She's the best. So yeah, so we just have some really really talented singer songwriters. I've got a kid by the name of James Clark. He's exploding on the scene right now. We got another couple XPN artists out there too.
Nice.
Zoe Lemon, Sadie Gust. We got Sam Vile of Vile Bread, younger brother of Kurt Vile, if anybody knows who he is, and Jello Man. And then Don McCluskey headlining.
Nice.
If you look him up, he's got an incredible resume
Yeah.
around the country and whatnot, and he's a very talented artist. They all are. So yeah, so one of a really cool lineup of singer songwriters, family friendly, $20 admission. It covers donation and whatnot. With some activities, with some food available. Working on a food truck. Yeah, so it's a really cool vibe. It's not your typical,
Like beef and beer thing.
yeah,
You know,
like
it's-
music fest. Where
Yeah.
it's just everybody's kind of out of their minds. It's not like that. It's just kind of, it's very relaxed but it's I don't know. There's a lot of positivity.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it just feels good.
That's
It's
cool.
definitely it's a vibe,
Yeah.
to say the least. Nice little fall event. I did look up the future weather prediction. I think it was a high of 73 and a
Oof.
low of 58 with sun and clouds.
Love that.
Yes.
That is fall.
Yes. So we're very excited about that. But
And-
yeah,
And when is that?
Saturday, October 11th.
Okay.
Yeah, it's at our house in Springfield. If you go on my pages or even on my website, curtisjr.net, there is a flyer on there and you can click on it. That'll take you to all the info for the event.
Is there a way for people to donate even if they can't get to the event?
Yes, so they can donate. I put my Venmo link on there. That's basically how we're accepting tickets,
Cool.
ticket sales. So you just it's $20 to enter, but if you want to make a donation, you can as well on Venmo. Just put Drinking Tree Festival.
Mhm.
If you can't make it, put a little note that you can't make it, but you just want to help out. All the help is very much appreciated. But yeah, it's just a really cool event. We're gonna do this for as long as we can, and yeah,
That's really awesome, man. What a beautiful
Yeah.
cause too.
yeah,
Very cool.
do that, and then yeah, just keep trucking forward.
Yeah. Yeah. Keep on keeping on, you know?
Yeah, yeah. So it'll be exciting the next couple months. I'm excited to be back up here. It was a wild and wacky summer, but we'll save that for the next.
Yeah. We'll
episode.
save that for part 2.
Yeah.
We'll get more into the aliens and everything too.
Yes, please.
I promise you.
Yeah, there's been a lot of things that have popped up this week.
Yeah. I mean, I saw a couple things. And I immediately thought of you. I was like, oh my God, Tommy was right. Not that I ever doubted you, but yeah, we can get into that next time.
Yes.
Your story is one of the reasons that I was excited to have you on here is because A, to reconnect with you after a while, and then B, I know your sober journey everyone's journey is different, whether
Mhm.
it's sober or not, and I know yours was a little bit different than mine too. But just your life story in general, I really love that you tell the story of you kind of being bullied and just kind of finding things that you love and then made to feel ashamed of those things that you loved as a kid,
Mhm.
to the point where you would tuck it away or hide them. And then you realize that if you do something that somebody else can't, that brings worth to you. And you're like, oh, this is what this world is then.
Yeah.
And kind of how that seeped into your psyche throughout your adult life, your early adult life, and the drinking and stuff like that. And, staying afloat and still focusing on music and how music saved you. And, when you did sober up, finding that kid again, I absolutely love that story. And I feel like a lot of
Yeah.
people out there need to find their own kid again. You know what I mean?
it's-
Find their inner child again.
It's inside there. I don't think I was expecting to give the whole biopic right there, but yeah, it just flowed out. So
Yeah.
that's my story.
No,
Those
man.
are my
listen,
guts.
I appreciate you letting it flow.
Yeah.
If somebody was going to play you in a movie, who would play you?
Ooh, I don't know if I ever thought about that. I think I always figured that I would pull the Howard Stern and just play myself. Who would play me? That is a great question. I don't know.
You don't have a favorite actor that looks like you at all, or
There's one actor that everybody claimed that I looked like was Joshua Jackson, Pacey from Dawson's Creek.
oh yeah, I could see that.
Um, but yeah, I've gotten that. I've gotten Elvis. I've gotten Bam Margera.
Hmm.
Yeah, maybe I'll have Bam play me.
Yeah, have Bam. That's
He's sober.
that'll
now.
work out great. Yeah.
Yeah, he's skateboarding again. He's giving me a glimmer of hope.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know who would play me. I'll have an answer for
Yeah,
the next
part two.
Yeah.
So if I had to ask you, what is your bright side when you wake up every day? What would your answer be?
I That's where I work in my gratitude.
Mm.
I try to remind myself every day to look up to God and the universe and the spirit team and everything and say thank you for today. Because I know that there's other people out there that didn't get the opportunity for today.
Yeah.
So that's where I try to plug in my gratitude. Try to be grateful for all the little things I have, to not overwhelm myself thinking about what I don't have.
Yeah.
Just kind of being grateful for what, I don't know, that plays back into we have everything that we need, not everything that we want.
Yeah.
But we have what we need. So I just remind myself I have what I need. I'm going to try to do a little better today than I did yesterday. Just keep working on things, keep stepping forward while staying present.
Right.
Not overwhelming my brain with the future or the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
I would usually also ask you what would you say to somebody who is in a really rough spot, in a dark spot, who feels like they have to hide their inner child. But I feel like your story answers that,
Yeah, go inward.
Go inward.
That's your answers, and your friend are inside.
Yeah.
It's okay to go inside. It's okay to be by yourself. Yeah, celebrate yourself, like Dan said. Be proud of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're different from other people, it's actually beautiful to be different, because every human is their own human. We're all supposed to be our own individual. We're not all meant to be the same people. So celebrate yourself. Don't be scared to do that. Be brave and step inward. That's why it's braving the bright side. Be brave.
Yeah. Love that.
You'll thank yourself later.
Yeah, so true. Tommy, listen, it's been great.
Yeah, man. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, I appreciate you hanging out and telling your story and talking to us about everything. And
public therapy session.
Yeah, that's kind of that's one of the points of this podcast,
But it's okay.
Well, let's do this again. We'll have part two at some point in time.
Yeah, please. We'll make that one real weird.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it already.
Yeah, man.
All right, Tommy. Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Jen. Appreciate it.
I'd like to think that that's my first official interview with a musician rock star. So that's what I'm going to tell myself. That's what I'm going to tell you guys. So I feel like that's true. In all seriousness, it was great catching up with Curtis Jr. One of the best things about doing this podcast is, I am getting people from all walks of life. People I don't know, people I know, but regardless, the conversations and connections I can make, and just being able to sit down and hang out with somebody for a couple hours and talk is really just really nice. And it's one of the many great things that I love about doing this is sitting down and just connecting with another human being from across the table, and talking about everything, hard things, easy things, great things, rough things, all the messy parts of life, and then all the pretty parts of life as well. And Tommy Curtis Jr.'s story is no different. I've known him for many years, but a lot of that I had no idea. So, just like everybody else is on here, his journey, his story is important. He's got a big heart, and I can't thank him enough for coming on the show, and opening that heart to all of us. So, and also just a quick reminder that Curtis Jr.'s album drops today on all major streaming platforms. Once again, it's Curtis Jr. The album is called Baby Making Music. So if it's anything like the title, that album should be amazing. I'll link that into the description of the podcast as well for a quick click and play, hopefully. So hopefully you can check it out and get him some listens. Tommy, once again, thank you so much for opening your heart and your soul to us and telling us your story. Can't wait to have you back on the show so we can talk about aliens and all the other weird stuff. I'm here for it, 100%. As we wrap up today's episode, I want to leave you with this. Finding your rhythm doesn't always mean blending in. Sometimes it's about honoring the parts of yourself that never quite fit and letting them be the music that carries you forward. Curtis Jr.'s story is a reminder that the kid inside us, the one with the big dreams, the weird quirks, passions, still matters. If something in today's conversation stirred something in you, or if you just need someone to talk to, I'd love to hear from you. Reach out anytime at bravingthebrightside@gmail.com or find me on Instagram at braving_thebrightside. And if you've got a story you feel called to share but aren't quite ready to come on the show yourself, that's okay too. You can email me your story, and with your permission, I'll read it here on the podcast so your voice and your journey still get the chance to be heard. I want to thank you for spending a little time on the bright side with me today. Until next time, keep braving it. One step, one sunrise, one song at a time. I'll see you next week.